Hello survivors and welcome to Vandeanson's Apocalypse. In this specific case we're looking at the newest work in progress feature, the base building part. Now apologies for the weird voice, obviously the first time in weeks that I have time to record something. I have a sore throat, so apologies, let's see how far we get. Again, I have started to work on a base building feature a while ago. Recently had to take a break from bug fixing Vandeanson's Apocalypse. The mod has now released a while ago with version 1.18, and I have, with some help from especially Piston, been able to fix a lot of things that have been wrong at the launch of the mod. I think we have just reached 1,900 subscribers, which is really awesome. Thank you for that, and about 110 ratings. With that, with having the main features of the mod working, especially the multiplayer bit was a pain, but we're there now. We have a few issues known. Basically, it's a bit of an issue that to add actions from the server, and they should be available for all players. This is an option, or this is an issue that we still have, but I sort of needed a break from that, and so I've been working on the base building feature that will be coming as a standalone version, but also I will implement it into the mod. So what is this? It's very simple. I do not have any coding background or something like that, so I'll do what I can with the knowledge that I acquire on the road and with feedback that I get from the community. What do we have? We have a add action and hint based interface for the base building. I'm using Max Joiner's melee weapons because they come with a hit animation and obviously tools. So for example, the hammer. I need the hammer to access the base building menu. If I have an hammer equipped, I get the base building add action. I can click through it, go back, select building menu, different types of walls, crafting menu stuff I can craft. Now to quickly, I'm working with a resource system based on like sort of virtual variables. So as you can see, top right corner, we have, if I press the inventory button, if I open any inventory, I'll see the hint to the right side, which shows me what materials or resources I have. Top corner is any resources that I can gather. Wood from felling trees, stone from mining stone, scrap metal, cloth sacks, wire, nettings and nail. I will implement options or means to collect that from either dead AI or from structures. We'll see, probably with hold action, where you can just look at something and loot it basically, and you might find stuff like that. Then the below core, the few like starting from metal bar is basically, let's say, refined materials. So I collect resources, I either combine or use those resources to craft other materials. For example, I collect wood, and with wood I'll be able to craft wooden poles, wooden boards, and so on. I collect stone, I can craft brick stones. I collect scrap metal to create metal panels. I collect sand and cloth sacks to basically create sandbags and so on. I guess you get the picture. Now enough babbling, I'll just show you how that looks then. Obviously I start with some starting materials. If I go through the building menu, let's go to walls. I'm crafting a wall now. You can see the display name of the wall. By the way, in the end you'll be able to add any class name of any objects to this mod, whatever you want, that you can assign materials or resources to it. This is how it looks. This is not my own doing. This is from the EDN fortification mod. It is a mix of it's basically what you see now is super complex, at least to my knowledge. Basically, it disables the collision for that object. It allows you to basically have it a few meters in front of you, and it follows your mouse movement. This is. I mean, I looked at the code. It's super complicated, to me at least. It changes the vector up and there, and I don't know. You have the option to align to the ground and align to C whenever you have such a structure in front of you. I've just placed it. If you place something, whatever you place goes into an array of placed objects, and these objects also get these add actions. Basically, if I look at it, I have two add actions: the deconstruct and move object to interact with something I've placed. These options are only there if you have the hammer equipped. If I have the hammer in my inventory or no hammer at all, I do not get the building menu, the 1.1 menu, and I can also not interact with anything I've built. If I equip the hammer again, boom, it's back. Here I can deconstruct it. If I build it again, build a tin face this time, tin fence this time, I can align it to the ground so it fits in nicely. Depending on the terrain, one or the other thing looks better. Let's do it aligned to C, or aligned to ground, sorry. Now obviously I've been able to block, make my base a little safer. I can, if I think this doesn't fit well, I need to move it, I can also move it, and I can place it differently, whatever I want, like this. Okay, and then it adds the menu again. If I want to move it and I want to align it to the ground, I can do that. Play around. To see. I don't know, I really got digged into the add action thing, and it's really cool. I really like it. It's very simple. No, it's very complicated to look at and to have these menus work correctly, because you add add action, then you have to remove them again, and you have to act the correct ones again. So you have to build up quite something. But yeah, this is what you can do right now. At the moment, when you deconstruct an object, there's no refund of materials. I will try to add something like that. That makes sense, that you get the correct resources refunded. Good. So yeah, this is stuff you can build. I have currently a building menu where I will add subcategories of walls, sandbag constructs, maybe ladders. I don't know, whatever. I can add everything. And you can just then click on the menu and you get a list of that group. I will probably group it so it makes sense. Align to the ground. I guess obviously this is now aligned to the ground. If you want to have it aligned to the sea, it will just not react to the ground. Sometimes this is better, sometimes it's worse. Attach the object. Building menu, walls. Oh, no walls. Menu. I guess you see. Currently, what is missing is an option to. So if I'm in that state now, I need an option to move that stuff further away, closer, to turn it, and so on. I don't have that in yet. I will also take that code from EDN Fortifications, and so you'll be able to rotate and get. This is a bit too close. It's not. I mean, you don't really see stuff. You need to be able to move that further away, but that will come. The code is there. I just need to implement it, courtesy of EDN Fortification. The guy behind EDN Fortification has not. I think he's not working on EDN Fortification anymore. And if I remember correctly, he's fine with people using his code. I will obviously, before release, try to clarify that with him if he's still somehow active. But yeah, for that stuff, full credit goes to him. Okay, so placing stuff, moving stuff, deleting stuff again, that works. Now on that basis you can just add everything you want. By the way, how do you like my loadout? Fits well, right? Now, how do you get materials? With the hammer you can craft and build. Oh yeah, now to crafting I come later. Now let's go to wood chopping. I'm sort of proud of that wood chopping because it's not that easy. You could think you can go to the tree and add code that will just destroy the tree, so it will fall down. To my knowledge, this is not possible. This is a terrain object, and you have to sort of cheat a little bit to make it look as if the tree falls down. I have not found any other option, so what you see now is the best I could come up with, and I'll take it from there. It's not perfect, but it's quite FPS friendly. In a previous attempt, I've just spawned in tree objects from Cup Terrain Core, and those trees are damageable, so it was easier to directly manipulate them. So basically I hit them with my axe, I add a hit event handler, and after 10 hits or so the tree would get damage set to 1 and it will fall down. Here this is not possible. I cannot interact that way with these trees, but what I can do is I can basically add code that if I'm near such a tree and I hit my axe, it will at some point hide the tree, spawn in a new tree, and set the damage of that tree to 0 at 1, so it will fall down. This is just a placeholder model. Maybe I find better models. Obviously, I cannot find a model that will fit all the vegetations and all the maps, so I'll see what I do about that. But obviously, it took me a while to basically make that tree spawn right where the actual terrain object tree was, to make it fall down. Now obviously the tree has been hidden. It's not destroyed, it's hidden. The tree just saw it's basically for that tree hide object global is true, so you don't see it. Now I have this tree, I have chopped it down, I can hit it again. The chopping sound is basically, this is bullets hitting the object. So the animation is from Max Melee Weapons. That's not my doing, and the axe and the tools as well. I think it just fits properly, and I hope that it's fine for me to use that. So first you fell the tree. The tree falls down. You can chop the tree into wood piles, and then you can collect the wood piles. Now you see wood has gone up for a couple of pieces. 14, I think. So now we have a tree that is hidden. If I move away and after some time that tree will despawn. What I like about this solution is basically I do not need to spawn in anything. I can just interact with anything that is a tree. Some trees that are huge won't work, because basically if I'm here, if I hit my axe, it will check if there's a tree nearby, and nearby is 8 meters from me, because trees have their center not down here but up here somewhere. So 8 meters for me work best. It could detect most bigger trees and of course the small trees. And yeah, then it will just hide the tree, spawn a new tree that is fellable and damageable for the looks. I hope I make sense. See, maybe this is not the best, replacement tree. I'll see what I do there. I figured if I just fell a tree that has no leaves and stuff, it will fit in best. Yeah, but I don't know. Most importantly, the system works yet, so some refining can be done. Okay, so I've collected wood with my axe. Now if I go back, because I have wood now, but I want wooden boards to craft stuff, or wooden poles. I go back, I take the hammer. By the way, Max Melee Weapons requires ammunition, of course, because this is a simulated pistol that will just shoot just very short ranges, and it needs ammo, and that ammo is infinite here, because I've added an event handler that if not for the hammer actually, because you don't need to hit it, but all the the axe, for example, it needs ammo. If I hit now, the ammo doesn't get depleted. Yeah, else you have to replace the ammunition all the time. I don't want that. Okay, we have the hammer again. With the hammer I get the building menu, and if I'm in the building menu I can go to the crafting menu, craft wooden boards, because I have wood now, and a hammer, and I can craft wooden boards. Currently it takes 2 wood into one wooden board. I guess it doesn't make really sense, but the idea is that you collect wood, and if you refine it, obviously you need more materials or resources to craft something. I mean, you cannot. I hope you know what I mean. I need 2 base materials to craft 1 refined material. We'll see. I can. Everything you see up here. I mean, this I can replace if something else makes more sense. It's just proof of concept somehow. So I craft wooden boards, and I can craft stuff with it. Like in that case, I need poles. So I haven't added all the options for crafting metal bars, wooden pole, wooden board, and so on. But I hope you see where this is going. I craft materials, and now I'm able to place stuff and fence off. Okay, so much for wood. Now let's go get some stones. Sorry for that. Let's get a pickaxe. The pickaxe or the stone gathering will detect rocks on your terrain. It's also again the problem. I need to detect terrain objects on any map. That works for every map. So it will detect the defined object rocks, terrain objects that are rock or rocks, and this is basic stuff like that. If you're close enough, it will just, when you hit it with your pickaxe, it will add up on your stone. Sadly, I have not found a detection for stone like that, so you cannot collect it from here or from here because it's not in a subcategory. I can detect this, but it's not detectable on the rock. So if I find a solution to detect that stuff, basically it will give me, I believe, a terrain object name, and maybe I can create a big array for every map and just add it. I don't know yet. Currently you need rocks. If you are familiar with terrain objects, you know what I mean. If not, then you don't. But just note that some rocks work, some don't. So the big rock structures or formations like that, they work for creating, gathering stone. These things like this don't. It's the best I can come up with right now. So yeah, I'm collecting stone. I will add an option that with your hammer you'll be able to sort of get, or even with the pickaxe you'll be able to craft brick stones from it. So yeah. Okay, I believe that's it. Once I'll add another video once I have the other collection systems, basically for scrap metal, cloth, wire, netting, nails, and so on. This will basically, I will either make it that if you have a hammer equipped, that you're near to something, I don't know what structure, so you'll be able to collect wire or nail or netting, or you will just get it from killing AI. I don't know, maybe both. I'll see. One more thing. To craft sandbags, you need to collect cloth sacks, and you need to get dirt or sand or whatever. If you have a shovel equipped, what was that? If you have a shovel equipped, you can collect sand. I realized that sand is not in the menu yet. I will have to add that, but yeah, you get it. If you have a shovel, you'll be able to collect sand. I guess it makes sense. Obviously an animation would be cool, but I don't have that. I just have the hitting animation. That doesn't make sense, so it's the best I can come up with right now. Maybe it'll also restrict it that only on grass or on non-concrete floor you'll be able to collect stuff, but the basic system is there. You'll be able to collect sand, and with sand and cloth sacks you'll be able to craft sandbags, and with sandbags you will be able to to then create sandbag walls. What else? In the future, so basically on that basis I'll now be able to add further collect resources systems. I'll be able to add further crafting patterns, basically refining of resources such as wood into wooden poles, netting into camo netting, nails into I don't know what, wire into razor wire, and cloth sacks or cloth stuff into maybe even gear, you know, uniforms or whatever. Maybe Fritz Ruins uniforms, so you can collect stuff to create those pitch together Fritz Ruins uniforms. I think with the base system here, you know, the possibilities are endless. I think the resource gathering system is also very FPS friendly. I'm setting up the mod to be multiplayer compatible. So far it looks good. I need to do some dedicated testing, like dedicated server testing, but I'm writing the code in an attempt to make it multiplayer compatible. I'll be adding something either via CBA menu where you can add your own custom pattern. Basically, you go into CBA menus in your editor and you can add a class name to a drop down. So let's say you want to add a gate. You can add that into the CBA options menu. You enter the class name and it will be, and you enter the material costs, and it will be added to the blueprint list here. I'm thinking about something where you can also find blueprints in the world, spawned in the world or dropped from AI, that you can collect, and once you collect it, the blueprint gets added somewhere here. What else? I am fantasizing about a lockable gate system, so basically you can craft gates that will be locked or can be locked. So let's say you craft a gate here and the code adds a lock system, either with a code or just an add action to close or lock or unlock the gate. And then hopefully it will be possible for me to add something that's only visible to the player, or it adds a code to all the players, and if you know the code you can open the gate. I think that's it. Please tell me if you know stuff that could help me, if you have code that helps. I hope I covered everything I wanted to do. I'll post another video or maybe even release the mod once the other features are in. Yeah, I think that's all I had to say. I recorded this video already, and everything, all the video files are corrupted, so hopefully this time it will work. And yeah, see you on the next update. Let's see what else I can do in what time. Thank you, and see you guys around. Cheers.